Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been betrayed again. Guys, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been betrayed again. Just like the one they did, just like the betrayal, how Nigerian government betrayed Igbos on the during the Civil War. That's in 1967, the Aburi Accord, to be precise. So, guys, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been betrayed again. Yes, on the 18th of July, we were thinking that, Kanu will be released, but unfortunately, he was betrayed again. Even a man, in fact, many people have come out to say that Kanu is innocent and he's not supposed to be in that place, but still, Nigerian governments, they are stubborn to admit the fact that they went to, they were wrong by going to Kenya to adopt him. Guys, now let me take you guys back, to what happened. Like, I'll just say that history has repeated itself again. History does not repeat itself, but it's often reading. This word echoes painfully true for Igbo people today. Now, in 1967, the hope of an entire people for peace and fairness were dashed in Aburi. You guys know what happened in Aburi Accord, how Gowon upturned the agreement. That is the same way they betrayed Kanu on 18th of July. We were thinking they will release him. In fact, the judge was supposed to rule on the no case submission. But guys, unfortunately, the judge came, to court, and then he postponed his trial to the 10th of October. 10th of October is too much. How can they keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there for so long? Even at the time that he's supposed to be freed, the judge is going for vacation. How? So it's just like what happened in the 1967, the Civil War, how they betrayed Igbos, just like now they are betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Keeping that man there is only going to fuel violence and unrest in the country. That is the only thing. Now, you guys know what happened, in the Aburi Accord. Like I always say, you see, go on. As far as Ojukwu was present in that Aburi Accord. As far as Ojukwu was present, guys, it shows that Igbos were a part of, like, they were supporting one Nigeria. Because that Aburi Accord was supposed to bring peace, unity. It was supposed to bring security for Igbos. But because of Nigerian government and some colonial masters did not want, Igbos to have their own security, Gowon had to upturn the agreement, betray the Igbos, even after having that meeting, and came back to Lagos, Nigeria, and started shooting innocent Igbos. Now, some people say it's civil war, but trust me, that was not a civil war. That was genocide. They were buying children, because if you call it a civil war, why were the Nigerian military personnel? Why were they now facing innocent children? Now, the same thing they did in that civil war is repeating itself again. By betraying Kanu on the 18th of July, Kanu was supposed to be free. Kanu was supposed to be free. Even after this man complained about his health condition, the lumps. In fact, he said he has, ear problem. Because of that, because of the torture and everything, he developed ear problem. Guys, you don't even treat terrorists like this. I mean, people that have unalived millions of people, you don't treat them like this. Why is Kanu's case different? Why is Kanu's case different? Now, once in 1967, the hopes of an entire people for peace and fairness were dashed in Aburi, Ghana. And decades later, on the 18th of July, 2025, another promise, another hope. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shamelessly betrayed again in broad daylight. The release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was betrayed again in broad daylight on the 18th of July. Nigeria once again has proven to be a serial betrayer of its own people, and the victims, more often than not, are the Igbos. They always betray the Igbos. Every blessed time, they always betray the Igbos. Now, today, let's connect the dots between Aburi and Abuja, between the 1967 and the 2025, trial continuation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how Kanu was betrayed on the 18th. I'm going to break down how Kanu was betrayed on the 18th of July. Now, in January 1967, Nigeria was on the brink of disintegration after the brutal 1966 programs that saw 10,000 innocent Igbo men, both men. In fact, it's not even 10,000, it's more than that. About 5 million or more than 5 million died in that genocide. Now, they were butchered in the north. Now, what led to that? What made Ojukwu to, to start demanding for their own government. It was because of Igbos were being killed in the northeast in Nigeria. They were killed. Igbos were being killed in the north. So then he demanded for his own government, and then they had to, he had to attend the Aburi Accord meeting that was supposed to bring peace in Igbo land and security. What happened? Gowon upturned, and today Gowon is telling us that he had no option but to kill the Igbos. He had no option. So guys said he wanted to unite Nigeria and buy the Igbos. And I'm asking myself, how can you be uniting and be killing at the same time? Will you call that unity? You can see that the intention it was on purpose to actually buy the Igbos. I don't know. I feel that later they will still come out and confess the way they came out to confess the 2020 and the 2005 election. They came out and confessed who won it. Go on came out and confessed who won the election. That's the same way he will come out and confess why he killed the Igbos, because he cannot be telling us that he killed the Igbos to unite Nigeria. So are Igbos not part of Nigeria? So now, in 1967, January 1967, Nigeria was on the brink of disintegration after the brutal 1966 pogroms that saw 10,000 of innocent Igbo men, women, and children butchered in the north. Now, faced with a country about to collapse, the military leaders of Nigeria, including the head of state, General Kubu Gowon, and the Eastern Region military governor, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, met in Aburi, Ghana, to negotiate peace. Guys, let me now tell you that the reason why they went to Aburi, Ghana was what? To negotiate peace. And after at the Aburi, they all agreed on a simple principle. They all agreed. Remember that I'm trying to connect how they betrayed the Igbos as 1967 and how they betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today and the entire Igbos on the 18th of July 2025. I'm trying to connect the dots to tell you how Nigerian government is a serial betrayer. Now, at Aburi, they all agreed on a simple principle. Nigeria would become a true federation. Regions will have autonomy. The eastern region would be safe. The massacres would stop. The agreement was clear. The signatures inked. The words sealed. But when Ojukwu returned home with hope, what happened? The federal side returned to Lagos and tore the accord to shreds. They betrayed every promise. They rewrote the decision. They forced decrees that centralized power back to Lagos. Guys, the Eastern region had two options: submit to renewed domination and genocide, or defend itself. Now, the rest is, as they say, it is a tragedy of Biafra. 3 years of war, starvation, and over 3 million, in fact, 5 million innocent souls, they lost their life that day, mostly children. The betrayal of Aburi set the foundation for the serial deception and subjugation of the Igbo people in this, and this is called, and they call it Nigerian Union. And let me tell you something. Let's fast forward to this 2021 century. Remember now, I've talked about how they betrayed the Igbos in the 1967. That's the genocide that happened that killed mostly children. Now, let's not talk about how they betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. On the 18th of July, a man that was supposed to be released on the 18th of July, guys, they betrayed him again. They betrayed Kanu again, in the name of vacation. Now, let's fast forward to the 21st century. A new voice rose for the same people who were betrayed in the 1967. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, through Radio Biafra and indigenous people of Biafra, reawakened the suppressed cry for self-determination. He demanded what Aburi promised, but Nigeria denied. Aburi promised so many things, but Nigeria denied. The right of the East to live free from oppression, marginalization, and genocide. That's just it. For this, he has been hunted, adopted, tortured, detained, and dragged from one courtroom to another. In 2021, Kanu was illegally redemptioned from Kenya back to Nigeria in clear violation of international law. Let me now tell you, if you're still doubting that he violated international law, or you're still saying, why is international people quiet when he violated international law? A time will come, just like his lawyer has come out to say. Let me play a video for you guys, because very soon they'll start defense. In fact, they have postponed it tonight to 10th of October. And the lawyer has vowed that if they don't release Kanu on the 10th of October, they will enter defense, guys, and they're going to go international witnesses to come and prove Kanu's innocence. I even believe that Kenya will also appear in court to prove Kanu's innocence. Guys, let me play a video for you guys to see what happened. Before I play that video, Let's continue before I play that video. Now, in 2021, Kanu was illegally renditioned from Kenya. Guys, stay with me. I have a lot to tell you guys. I have a lot to share with you guys. So in 2021, Kanu was illegally renditioned and it clearly violated international law. And, they have ruled in his favor. They have ruled in Kanu's favor. The United Nations has spoken. But the Nigerian government continues to play its old game. Betrayal, delay and deceive. What is it? Is it a big deal to just obey your own law? Is it a big deal for Nigeria or Nigerian government to obey their law? It is clearly written that they violated their own law, they violated international law, and also violated Kenya's law by going ahead to adopt Kanu from Kenya and brought him back illegally to Nigeria. In fact, Kenya has said they should return Kanu to Kenya, and they have refused. They're just playing their old games, betrayal, delay, and deceive. Now this is the betrayal. The betrayal has repeated again. On July 18th, 2025, the Federal High Court was supposed to uphold justice. Now, let me tell you why the federal government was supposed to release Kanu. Without no doubt, Justice Omotosho, Justice James Omotosho, was supposed to release Kanu on the 18th because Kenya courts came out and said they should return Kanu that is innocent. For a long time now, Kenya has not spoken, they have not said anything concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. But before the 18th of July, the court declared that Kanu is innocent. And what they did, even they actually violated their own law. Because I believe that there are some Kenya officials that had to gang up, to take that operation along with Nigerian government. So they came out to say that they violated their own law, and Nigerian government also violated their own law. So they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even US observers said that the fact that Kanu was illegally, brought back to Nigeria, then his trial is invalid. So why is Nigerian government still holding him? Even after the DSS witness, what can they can't even prove he's a terrorist. We were even thinking that at least on the 18th of July, they will strike out this terrorism charge of Kanu, because even up to now, a man that has been in detention for 6 years, they can't prove he's a terrorist. So why then are you still keeping him there? A man that has complained of different, health problems, but then they ignored it and still kept him there. The worst that happened is that on the 18th of July, the judge, even after what Kenya government said, even after what your own law says, you still kept him there, postponed the case to 10th of October. We were thinking that Justice Omotosho would do the needful by releasing him. But guys, we were so disappointed that Justice James Omotosho could do this thing. I thought he knows the law better. The law says this man is innocent. In fact, the law clearly says that as far as Nigerian government went to Kenya to bring him back illegally, secretly, they kidnapped him. Even what's his name? Shoyinka has said that Kanu was kidnapped. And let me tell you, Shoyinka was clearly saying to the federal government that you cannot defeat Biafra. So Nigerian government thinks keeping Kanu in detention will, make Kanu tired and back out. Is that what they think? But Shoyinka has said you cannot defeat something that its time has come. You cannot silence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No matter how long, no matter how they keep adjourning this case. Look, I've not seen a man as strong as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For how many years he has been there, but his voice is still loud for everyone to hear. He said, as far as he said that, you see right now, that he's already dead until Biafra comes to reality. What is freedom? See, life is meaningless without freedom. Like, as far as you're in Nigeria, you're in bondage. You're in total bondage. Life is meaningless without freedom. Now, I want to play a video for you guys to see how Nigerian governments are deceiving us, especially on this Buhari's case. You guys know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Buhari was dead a long time ago. We were even surprised that Aisha Buhari actually retweeted and said that her husband died in 2017, that any second death is Nollywood, and Nigerians are just looking. One problem with Nigeria, even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it, that anything that happens, Nigeria will just be looking. a lawyer said, Barrister Darlington, on how Nigerian government, take a look.
How many world leaders have paid condolence visits or sent condolence message since Sunday? How many world leaders? Please, somebody answer me. How many world leaders? You mean they've not had, Abi? No, they've not had. That was what Nnamdi Kanu said. That 2 years after he leaves office, the real truth will come out. That's the truth. I was asking a question. How come? Mr. Messi, listen very well. How come when Buhari came back from UK from his sick leave, Abi?
We are not privy to why she may have.
The wife relocated to Dubai. Are you not supposed to be nursing your sick husband who came back from sickness? Is it not important? No, tell me it did not happen. Tell me now.
But the point is, whatever we are saying here, the president's family has a right to their privacy, and rather than begin to unearth what we cannot really hold on to,
substantiate.
The best bet is for us to just sympathize with these people in this hour of need and let them soak, and then maybe pray for them to have that fortitude. Because no matter how old you are, even as a father, your child will not want you to die. And no matter how old you are, as a woman married to you, will not wish you dead. And so, the woman is mourning now, and wherever she is, she can be visited. And I'm sure that she will accompany the corpse.
So guys, let me just come in what that lawyer said. So now they claim that Aisha Buhari relocated to Dubai. Now I'm saying because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually said, guys, even a British person, a British man said that, even the attendees of Buhari's burial, they came out to say when they heard when they heard that Buhari died, and they asked this, so which Buhari? Abi, is it Jubri? Long time ago, since 2017. So now they claim that Aisha Buhari relocated to Dubai. They're asking, how can you leave your husband? Because we know that then Aisha Buhari said that her husband is dead. Her husband is dead. And she was there mourning, the time they did the burial, she was present there. So who died this time? You see the way Nigerian government keep deceiving us. And that is what Kanu said. You see why he said that there is no, as far as you're in Nigeria, you are in bondage. You are in bondage. So imagine how Nigerians are just, according to what this person said, see how Nigerians are just, messing their own law after they claim that they are practicing democracy. Can you imagine? Why can't you just obey your own law and release this man? What is the big deal? This is the same. They obey this same law to jail someone, but when it comes to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, they will not obey the law to release him. Even when in all ratification, you can, in fact, in all angle, you can actually prove that this man is innocent. Yes, you can prove. They can't even prove him guilty. So why are they still keeping him there? Now Kanu has been betrayed again. You see what happened on the 18th of July? It's another betrayal because he was supposed to be released. But George, I thought he knew better, kept him, and he went for vacation. Imagine keeping an innocent man in prison. See, let me tell you, if it was all these governors or that loot money, they will not even stay in detention for any reason. Why is it that DSS, will not go after all these people that are looting? Why are they coming after innocent people? See, you see this Kanu's case, there is more to it. They are purposely keeping that man there, not because he's a criminal or because he has spied anyone, but because of, their political agenda. They are keeping him there for some reasons, not because he's a criminal. They are keeping him there on purpose. They betrayed Kanu on July 18. How can the judge claim suddenly they are going for vacation? Keeping a man that has been there for so long. Guys, this is going to be his 5th year in detention. 5th year, a man that has so many health complications, keeping him, you postponed the case to the 10th of October. That's like 2 months from now. A man that is innocent. A man that is innocent. On July 18th, 2025, the Federal High Court was supposed to uphold justice, release an innocent man whose continued detention violates the very constitution they pretended to respect. Let me repeat myself. On July 18th, the Federal High Court was supposed to uphold justice, release an innocent man whose continued detention violates the very constitution they pretend to respect. Instead, like in Aburi, they postponed, they backtracked, they betrayed. A judge who is paid with public fund conveniently went on vacation. Can you imagine? Leaving a man, leaving a man's life hanging, a people's hope crushed once again. So now, this is the same pattern. Sign an agreement, they make promise, they raise hope, then stab the people in the back. A judge who is paid with public funds conveniently went on vacation, leaving a man's life hanging, a people's hope crushed once again. The same pattern. They will sign an agreement, they make promises, they raise hope, then stab the people in the back. Guys, when people ask, why do Igbo still talk about Biafra? Now, point them here that when people asked, why does Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter? Remind them it's not about one man in a cell. It's about a people chained in a country that keeps betraying them. See, the Igbo is one tribe that I know that the fact they have endured what Nigerian government are doing to them. They have endured. You see, let me tell you, there was a time in the north where they kill Igbos. That was even what made Ojukwu to say no to come out and say enough is enough. And then for peace to reign too, he actually attended the Aburi Accord, thinking that things will normalize. But guys, things got worse. Even up till now, Igbos are still marginalized. The betrayal of Aburi bettered a war. The betrayal of Kanu today sustains a quiet war. You guys don't know that. All these things they are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually not seen. It's actually not seeing something in the future. Now, the betrayal of Aburi bettered a war, and the betrayal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today sustains a quiet war, a war of injustice, oppression, and deceit. See, if Nigerian government keeps doing this thing, Igbos will rise one time. They feel that, oh, they killed the Igbos during the genocide. If they continue to keep that man there, how long would that man be in detention before they do the right thing? Why can't you just obey your own law? Justice Omotosho knows the law better. You should better see. Let me just say this. As he's going on vacation, he should better study the law more, because it's actually clear these people don't know what their law is saying. Because how can the law be saying something and they are doing otherwise? Making mess. The constitution now is just like a pepper. It's looking like a pepper. I said they will come and be telling other African countries to obey the constitution, to practice democracy, when they don't even obey their own law and constitution. Rule of law doesn't even make sense in Nigeria. If you have anything to say, let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it. So the Nigerian government knows that if they keep Kanu silent, they silence millions. If they drag this case endlessly, they exhaust the spirit of resistance. Now, all they want is, for Kanu to remain there. Let me just tell you their plan. This was their plan initially. They planned that they will keep Kanu in detention. You see, for them to go ahead to kidnap Kanu, do you know what it means? Do you know the risk in doing that? It's actually violate. Because of that, Nigeria can get a sanction because he violated international law. The very law they signed by themselves, they violated it. For them to take that risk and also even involve some Kenyan officials, they are so interested in Kanu, they are so interested in him. That was why they went to Kenya to adopt him. That was why they went to Kenya. See, if they actually have something against Kanu, if truly Kanu is a terrorist, they will do the needful. They will take due process by writing to Kenya government that a man in your country is a terrorist and this happened, and they will show proof. And if Kanu is truly a terrorist, things will be done the way it's supposed to, in fact, the way it's supposed to be. But guys, because they know that Kanu is innocent, that was why they secretly kidnapped him. Even till now, they can't even say, okay, they don't want to admit, even when Kenya has admitted, they don't want to, Kenya have admitted what they did. And then they compensated Kanu. But the Nigerian government has refused to admit that what they did was wrong. So I believe that if Nigerian government knows what is good for themselves, if they actually want, to get back that good reputation, they should go ahead and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Keeping him there is only exposing you guys the more. Keeping him there is only causing more harm than good. Because right now, his lawyers have said, if they don't release Kanu on the 10th, enough is enough to this unnecessary adjournment. Enough is enough for all this. Even a northern man came out and warned Tinubu that he should better release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How can Dave Umahi? I am disappointed. Dave Umahi came out and said Tinubu's government, in fact, he said Tinubu did not put Kanu there. But Tinubu's administration inherited an illegal detention of a man. What did he do? As a president, what did he do? He continued it. How can Dave Umahi say that, Tinubu did not keep Kanu in detention, but your administration inherited an illegal detention of a man that you're supposed to release because Kenya has come out to rule. Even what you guys did has violated your own constitution, your own law, and then you continued it even till now. I can't believe that they will, even up to now. I know many cried on the 18th of July because it was so sad for us to hear that our leader, Onyendu, will still be in detention till October. And the lawyers have said enough is enough to all these adjournments. That if you don't release Kanu on the 10th of October, they will take serious action. He said, wait and see what we will do. Enough is enough to all these unnecessary adjournments. They will be adjourning like this is a man's life. Kanu is not a cow. They see Nigerians as moron. Kanu is not a moron to keep him there. That man has stayed there for so long. And justice must be served. So he said, if you don't release him, a lawyer Jimako said, if you don't release Kanu on the 10th of October, they will take action and see what he's going to do. In fact, I believe that international observers, both international witnesses will be in court, to prove Kanu's innocence. And Nigerian government knows that what they did violated international law. They should better respect themselves and do the needful if they don't want to be sanctioned. In fact, we see what they are doing is only putting it there that Nigeria don't even respect their own law, doesn't even respect the rule of law, doesn't even respect their constitution. So right now, see what is happening in US. Will I say it's because of the way Nigerian governments are handling things? Right now, you can't even US, they are denying Nigeria. In fact, if you're holding Nigeria's passport, they don't value you. If you're with a Nigerian passport, they don't value you. Look at what is happening in South Africa. South Africa, they are saying that, Nigerians should leave their country. This is to tell you what Nigerian government is putting on innocent Nigerians. Because they cannot even give their people a better future. Yes, in Nigeria, there's no future. That's why people go to other countries at least to find greener pastures. If Nigeria was good, they won't leave their country. Now, other countries are now chasing them. Trump said that even set it to 3 months. So if you go to UK and overstay, they will ban you permanently. You will not step your leg on American soil again. This is what Trump is trying to tell Nigeria. You see what Nigerian government are doing to innocent Nigerians. So now, on the 18th of July, Kanu was betrayed again. And, it was so painful. It was painful for all Nigerians, for all Biafrans most especially, because we were expecting our leader to, leave detention. That man has tried in that place, an innocent man that even them cannot prove, he has done any crime or he has killed. No civilian, no soldier have come out to say this is what Kanu did. We were thinking that, when they were doing the DSS witness, they will bring out a truckload of weapons. Guys, not even a knife. was presented that Kanu kept somewhere. Not even a knife. You can see what is happening. So on July 18th, 2025, the Federal High Court was supposed to uphold justice, release an innocent man whose continued detention violates the very constitution they pretend to respect. Instead, like in Aburi, they postponed it, they backtracked, they betrayed. A judge who is paid with public funds conveniently went on vacation, leaving a man's life hanging. A people's hope crushed once again. The same pattern, guys. They sign an agreement, they make promise, raise hope, then stab the people in the back. People ask, why do the Igbo still talk about Biafra? Point them here. When people ask, why does Nnamdi Kanu matter? Remind them it's not about one man in a cell. It's about a people chained in a country that keeps betraying them, generation after generation. The betrayal of Aburi bettered the war. The betrayal of Kanu today sustains a quiet war. The war of injustice, oppression, and deceit. The Nigerian government knows that if they keep Kanu silent, they silence millions. If they drag this case endlessly, they exhaust the spirit of resistance. Now, if they betray openly, they normalize injustice. But history is not dead. The 1967 was not that long ago. And today's youth, armed with the truth and technology, are no longer blind to this cycle of betrayal. The Aburi Accord betrayal and the July 18th betrayal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are not isolated events. They are two chapters of the same unfinished book. And until the Igbos get justice, not crumbs, not bribes, not recycled promises, but real justice, real freedom, real dignity, this story will keep repeating. Nigeria must choose, keep betraying or keep bleeding. This is the pathway they need to choose. Is either they keep betraying or keep bleeding. Even an APC man came out, an APC member. We were even surprised because APC is one political party that never wanted to hear anything concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even the North, this man is a Northerner. We were surprised that he was advising Tinubu. He said, Tinubu, he advised him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as he's the only person that can bring unity and peace to this country again. So Nigeria must choose, keep betraying or keep bleeding, or respect the agreements, the courts, and the people's right to self-determination. Is self-determination a crime? Is self-determination a crime? Kanu never went against the law of Nigeria. They called him a terrorist. They can't prove he's a terrorist. How can you call someone a terrorist without even him killing anyone or without him armed? What is the full definition of terrorism? There's no, we have not heard any evidence of him personally. In fact, when the SL witness came to testify against Kanu, they're only relying on what social media, what Vanguard posted. They're not even relying on their own evidence. They are saying according to Vanguard. And you're telling me these DSS know what they are doing? Nigeria must respect the agreement, respect the court, and the people's right to self-determination. Guys, stay with me. I have a lot to expose to you guys. Now, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like, and share this video. Now, if you believe the truth must be told, share the video, speak about Aburi, speak about Kanu. The Aburi Accord was not just a meeting, it was the last peaceful attempt to stop a civil war. Ojukwu trusted that agreement. In fact, Ojukwu was saying, at Aburi, in fact, we stand. Aburi, we stand. But Gowon was saying another thing. Gowon was saying that, Igbos had just started falling after the Aburi. But the federal military government trusted only the gun. The betrayal of Aburi revealed Nigerians' real foundation, a union held together by force, not consent. Now, Gowon needs to come out and tell us why he actually buy the Igbos, because him coming out to tell us that he buy the Igbos to unite Nigeria, that's not, you can't be telling us that you buy Igbos to unite Nigeria. The same way he came out to publicly, but they break them once they regain control. Aburi was agreed face to face. Face to face. The president of Ghana, Ojukwu, and Gowon was present. It was agreed face to face. But what happened? Gowon upturned that agreement. Nigerian leaders use agreements to calm tension publicly, but break them once they regain control. Aburi was agreed face to face, but secretly torn apart with decree notes 8 and later centralizing policies. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is similar. The court publicly say free him. The court publicly say free him, but the government secretly blocks it with adjournments, illegal detention, and technicalities. Now, in both cases, time was used as a weapon. The longer they delay Aburi implementation, the weaker the East position. Now, Kanu's endless trial adjournments weakens IPOB morale and confuse the public. And let me tell you, if Nigerian governments are hoping that with these things they are doing, it will make Biafrans tired and they will stop agitating, it's a lie. In fact, men looking at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will get tired. And I'm very, very sure that very soon Nigerian government will be tired, if they are not even tired self. Because they will be like, what kind of man is this? After everything you have gone through, you're still standing strong. It's a shame to Nigerian government that everything they have planned, is just falling on the floor. It's not coming into reality. In both cases, time was used as weapon. The longer they delayed Aburi's implementation, the weaker the East position. Now, Kanu's endless trial adjournments, weakens IPOB morale and confuse the public. Postponement is not justice, it's a psychological warfare. 58 years after Aburi, the Nigerian state still has zero accountability for broken deals. Nobody was punished for violating Aburi. Nobody will be punished for defying court orders to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This breeds a culture where betrayal is normal. Everybody feels that what is happening in Nigeria is normal. Yes, if you rig election, they'll say it's normal. If bandits go and buy on live millions of people, they will say it's normal. Everything going on in this country is normal. Because Nigerians have chosen to be quiet in all these things that is happening. Despite betrayals, the Igbo keep investing hope in Nigeria, voting, building, paying taxes, obeying law, despite all the things they have done to the Igbos. But you still see them voting, building. Me, I believe strongly that why they don't want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even when Kenya High Court has come out to say release him, why they don't want to release him is because of the 2027 election. Like I always say, Tinubu is planning. In fact, it's not about his. In fact, he has said Tinubu wants to come out in 2027, and it's appalling that you have done nothing. Look at 2 years of Tinubu. What has changed? He came out and he said, I just started. Give me some time, guys. This is 2 years. What has changed? And he's already planning another election. He's already planning to come out in 2027 when he has not even done nothing ever since he became the president of Nigeria. So now me, I feel that why they are still keeping Kanu there, even when Kenya High Court, because guys, believe me when I say 18th of July was certain for Kanu to come out. It was certain. But one of the reasons why they are keeping him there is because of the 2027 election. Tinubu's government cannot stand Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just because of his words. Do you know how they are scared of his words? Do you know that Kanu is like their game spoiler? He's going to expose all the lies they have been building in Nigeria. All the lies they've been relying on. He's going to expose them. So that is one of the reasons. They don't want Kanu to be released when the election is on, because it's going to be a game spoiler for them. So you can see, this is one of the reasons they are still keeping him there. Because of the 2027 election. That is what I feel. So despite the betrayals, the Igbos keep investing hope in Nigeria, voting, building, paying taxes, and obeying laws. Yet, each generation faces the same results. From Zeke's Pan-African dream to Ojukwu's Aburi gamble to Kanu's legal struggle. See, the question remains, how long will the people endure serial betrayal before they walk away for good. When the Aburi Accord failed, the world watched millions die but said nothing until it was too late. Now, the UN and foreign courts has ruled in Kanu's favor, but the Nigerian state ignores them and the world shrugs. This shows how intentional law is only enforced when it suits the big powers. The Igbo must rely on themselves. Betrayal is not just moral, it's economic. The Civil War was destroyed, the Civil War destroyed Eastern businesses, blocked trade, imposed unfair economic policies. Today, Kanu's tension fuels instability, sit-at-home orders, economic shutdown, and fear in the southeast. Betrayal keeps the region trapped in a cycle of underdevelopment. The Yoruba experienced betrayal too. Yes, the June 12th, 1993, the for so many years. I feel this is the same way he will come out and tell us why he killed the Igbos. The Niger Delta too was betrayed. Endless promises of resource control never fulfilled. Nigeria does not just betray the Igbos. It betrays everyone, but the Igbos carry the heaviest scars. Kano has become a symbol like Ojukwu, like Zeke, not perfect, but embodying the dreams of dignity. His continued detention is not just about one man, it's about criminalizing the right to ask if they can do this to him. What about the ordinary citizens with no microphone? If Aburi has been respected, there would be no civil disobedience today. Nigeria must learn that a nation that betrays its people can never know peace. People say that this thing that is happening in Nigeria, it was, in fact, it is because of they are holding Kanu, an illegal man, a man that did not do anything. A man that did not do anything, and they are holding him. That is why Nigeria is facing all these things. And if they want peace in Nigeria, they should release him. Watch this video and see for yourself how Nigerian governments are deceiving people.
How many world leaders have paid condolence visits or sent condolence message since Sunday? How many world leaders? Please, somebody answer me. How many world leaders? You mean they've not had, Abi? No, they've not had. That was what Nnamdi Kanu said. That 2 years after he leaves office, the real truth will come out. That's the truth. I was asking a question. How come? Mr. Messi, listen very well. How come when Buhari came back from UK from his sick leave, Abi?
We are not privy to why she may have.
The wife relocated to Dubai. Are you not supposed to be nursing your sick husband who came back from sickness? Is it not important? No, tell me it did not happen. Tell me now.
But the point is, whatever we are saying here, the president's family has a right to their privacy, and rather than begin to unearth what we cannot really hold on to,
substantiate,
the best bet is for us to just sympathize with these people in this hour of need and let them soak, and then maybe pray for them to have that fortitude. Because no matter how old you are, even as a father, your child will not want you to die. And no matter how old you are,
So if you're still believing the fact that, if you're still doubting what Kanu said about Buhari's death, that means you don't even want to tell yourself the truth. You don't want to tell yourself the truth. You think Kanu will just come out? In fact, Kanu even, said that if Buhari was not dead, as at 2017, that he's going to bow down to Nigerian government. Like he's going to, for a man to put his life for that kind of thing. What does it mean? You think he's joking? They never said let them resign. Nigerian government did not say, they were all doubting him. Now, all of a sudden, he has died for the second time. Buhari has died for the second time. And you don't know that Nigerian government will lie and manipulate, lie. There's no way. See, they can do anything just to confuse you. The courts are now tools of delay. The same judiciary that should protect citizens is now a shield for the state to delay justice. If the court cannot enforce their own law, somebody said that if Kanu is guilty, why don't you jail him? And if he's not guilty, why don't you release him? What is too hard? Like, what is too hard in all this thing? If the courts cannot enforce their own orders, what hope does an ordinary citizen have? The message is clear for everyone. In Nigeria, court rulings are suggestions, not binding truth. Postponing Kanu's case is not incompetence, it's deliberate. Nigerian governments are deliberately, postponing and adjourning the case so that he can remain there even when the election starts, even when the campaign starts. Because they know that they have plans, they have agendas. Keeping him in detention without, without closure keeps the East unstable. See, all this thing is a political strategy. They know what they are doing. A peaceful East is not in their interest. Constant tension gives them excuses for militarization and emergency budgets. The Igbo carry scars, not just in history book, but in living memory. Grandparents tell story of the 1967 starvation. Parents lived through post-war discrimination. The youth now watch Kanu dragged endlessly. The betrayal becomes a generational trauma, passed down like inheritance. Political allies from the East, who should defend Kanu mostly, keep silence to protect, their personal benefits. We were thinking that Eastern governors will, involve or try to be at the front wall, trying to say that Kanu should be released. But guys, they are just, defending defending Abuja. They are scared of Abuja so that, Tinubu will not sanction them, even when they know that Tinubu doesn't have the rights. But currently, in the law, Tinubu has no rights to sack any governor. But today, Tinubu has sacked Fubara. That should tell you how lawless this country is. Nigerian government, if they cannot obey the law, they should not jail anyone. No. They should not obey that same law to jail anyone, since they cannot obey the law to do the needful. Silence from so-called Igbo leaders is betrayal in disguise. History will not forget them. How can what's the governor of Anambra State, Soludo said that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to bring security to the eastern part of Nigeria. What is he trying to say in essence? That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should remain in detention. This is an southeast governor. And then we are surprised that Soludo came out again in a conference and said that majority of criminals, according to him, he said if we have caught 100 criminals, then 99.9% are Igbos. This is what a southeast governor is saying, that 99.9% are Igbos. How can you just come out and say anything without showing evidence? That's one thing about these people. They keep on talking. That is how they call Kanu a terrorist. They keep on saying all manner of things, but they don't have any proof. The same Soludo that is saying 99.9% of criminals are Igbo. In Anambra State, it was revealed that an illegal cell is in Anambra State that have kept people for some years. In fact, the illegal cell was set up by the same vigilante group he set up. Yes, Harrison had to expose that. The video went viral. A man that was selling custard, suddenly he was missing. Not for them to now hear that he was in vigilante custody for a year in an illegal cell, and not just him, many people. And Soludo is coming out to tell people that if they have caught 100 criminals, that 99.9% are Igbo people on the Igbo. Can you imagine? You see how Southeast leaders are, people from the East, especially political elites from the East, who should defend Kanu mostly, keep silent to protect their personal benefits. This is not just legal, it is a this is not just legal, it's a psychological warfare. They want IPOP supporters to lose hope. They want IPOP supporters to lose hope, get tired, fight themselves. This is exactly how they break their Aburi Accord spirit, divide, delay, and distract. If this was happening to any other group, the global media would scream. But the world ignores Kanu because they fear offending Nigerians' oil money and unity lies. This shows how human rights are selective. The Igbo must protect their own. July 18th lesson is that the court can save you if the state ignores the law. The Igbo must learn that their freedom can't be begged. Kanu has said that he's not begging for anyone to release him, that he demands justice because the law says so. That is nonsense. He's not begging. He said nobody should beg for his release. He has not done anything. He has not been convicted. See, even in Nigerian's courts or any courts in the world, you cannot accuse someone if you cannot prove the person guilty, or someone is not convicted of any crime if the person is not proven guilty, or someone is presumed, let me use this word, or let me use this, someone is presumed innocent or else is proven guilty. That is just it. Every betrayal of Kanu fuels resentment and division. Nigeria spends billions on military force in the east, money that could build roads, schools, and jobs. Betrayal keeps the country poor, but feeds the greedy few who benefits their conflicts. Now, betrayal buys time but never solved the root problem. The British betrayed the East with colonial borders. It didn't last. The military betrayed Aburi. It baited Biafra. They betray Kanu, but the people are more awakened than ever. No matter how they keep Kanu there, the truth is that justice must be served. No matter if they lie, they should keep postponing his trial. Justice must be served. Kanu has been there for so long, and he said that he's already dead. It's only Biafra that can revive him. He said no matter how long he stays in detention, that he will never betray his people. They have given him president. They said he should become the president of Nigeria, and he declined. What he wants is Biafra. He doesn't want to be the president of Nigeria. They have given him vice, and then he declined. If Nigerian government doesn't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 10th of October, the lawyer has said that they will take serious action. They will even go ahead to bring, US witnesses to come and prove Kanu's innocence. He said, according to him, he said they have not entered any defense since, Kanu's trial started. That this time around, they will not, tolerate any form of adjournment. They're going to start their defense, and they're going to prepare documents to prove Kanu's innocence. Guys, I cannot wait for the 10th of October. I cannot wait for the 10th of October. Although some Biafrans are sad that, Kanu's, they're just deliberately, purposely delaying his trial just for their own benefits. But we cannot wait because Kanu's lawyer wants to take serious action to prove Kanu's innocence, because DSS have actually, testified against Kanu, and none of their evidence. They have brought so much. In fact, that was why the lawyers, filed a no case submission, because they have brought enough evidence and none can prove this man is a terrorist. They told the judge that they filed a no case submission, and a no case submission is that they're trying to tell the judge that these people have brought enough evidence and none of it can prove he's a terrorist. So then they said Kanu has no case to answer. Nigerian government doesn't have anything against Kanu. Just propaganda. Now, beyond Kanu himself, think of his family, his aged parents that died. Now, the judge will not talk about how soldiers rat, his house, and how they killed many people. In fact, Kanu lost family members in that thing that happened. They won't talk about it. Now, what they are saying now is this: the only thing they are standing on now is that Kanu is deliberately, he wants to just divide Nigeria without talking about what the cause, the thing that caused why Kanu started agitating, the root cause of Kanu's agitation. Why is it that this government likes propaganda? What would they benefit from all these things? What would they benefit from jailing an innocent man? His followers are jailed, forced into hiding. Families are broken, children go up fatherless. Yes, the same government asks for peace while creating trauma. Every Monday shutdown is not just IPOB orders, it's a protest of a people who feel they have no other voice. Now, the sit-at-home orders, people think, people use it for break, but every Monday shutdown is not just IPOB orders, it's a protest of a people who feel they have no other voice than Kanu. They actually want Kanu to be released. If Kanu were free and the government respected the courts, there will be no reason for sit at home. So the state itself creates the problem to pretend to fight. The system is using lawfare, turning the law into a weapon, not a shield. They obey court rulings when it suits them and ignore them when it doesn't. You can see it. They only obey the court when it suits them, but when it's against them, they ignore it. This creates hopelessness and normalizes disrespect for the judiciary. Like during Aburi, they used internal betrayal, then it was Eastern leaders who bowed to Lagos and undermined Ojukwu. Now, some so-called Igbo politicians pretend to support Kanu in public but sabotage him behind closed doors to please Abuja. Just like the federal propaganda after Aburi painted Ojukwu as a rebel, today they use state media to brand Kanu a terrorist, even after courts cleared that. Do you know they striked out that charges? Let me now tell you that they're trying Kanu under dead laws. They are trying Kanu under dead laws. Law that doesn't exist. Law that doesn't exist again. They are trying Kanu under dead laws. Who does that? Western powers talks about democracy, yet they army Nigeria to crush dissent. They pretend to be neutral, but their silence is loud when human rights abuses. Their silence is loud when human rights abuses it, but affects their oil contract. Now, the betrayal is not just Nigerian; it's a national complicity. People were thinking that when Trump entered, when Trump won for his second term, that he will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I feel this defense that his lawyers want to enter, that Kanu will be released this time around because they will do all in their best. In fact, according to his lawyer Aloy Ejimako, he said they're going to prepare for Nigerian government. How can, if is it that the judge is not seeing all these things, or what, that Nigerian government doesn't have anything against Kanu, that they're just purposely keeping him there for no reason. For no reason. They're just purposely keeping him there. An innocent man that has done nothing. Guys, even if you give them the whole world, you can imagine DSS called him a terrorist, and then they said, give us time, let's go and bring evidence. Give us time, let's go and bring evidence. Even if you give them the whole world, or give them the whole years in this world, or give them till eternity, guys, they will not prove. They don't have anything against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have. Even to tomorrow, they will not still have. It's just that, Kanu is like their game spoiler. Or they actually want Kanu to be in detention when the campaign or when election starts. Because they know that if Kanu is released, it's going to spoil many things for them. A man, they are fearing his word. His word, just his word. He doesn't have weapon. It's just his word. He doesn't have any weapon at all. They claim he has weapon. His weapon is his microphone. That his broadcast. He comes and tell, Nigerians how Nigerian government has been lying to them for so many years. That is all. I can remember the old broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, how can cows be walking about in this 21st century? I was so disappointed to see cows even passing, defecating in a five-star hotel, in front of a five-star hotel in Owerri. Cows be dragging road with human beings. With car, people have to stop, causing traffic. They go around from Kano. Why is it that the northerners blocked or stopped or rejected the what's it called, the anti-open grazing bill? Why? That law would have a law would have set boundaries for these Fulani men to know where to carry their cow from, to or where not to carry their cow to. Kanu said, this cow they are carrying up and down, what is the need? Like, what is the use of this cow in Nigeria? He said during those days, do they carry cow around? But people still had meat to eat. Do they produce milk? People still get milk from Holland. Now, the cows in Holland, did they carry them about? Do you see cow, going from one place to another in China? This is what we are experiencing in Nigeria. And then we pray that on 10th of October, Kanu will be released, or else Nigerian government, whatever they see, they should take. So guys, we have come to the end of this live section. Do what to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.